Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about immuno immunodeficiency. Immunodeficiency. Okay, very important. Immunodeficiency disease. Immunodeficiency disease. Okay, ineffective ineffective immune response. Ineffective immune response, that is AIDS. Okay, this is we are discussing about this disease. Immunodeficiency. Immunodeficiency. Okay, results from results from failure of one or more components of the immune system of the immune system. Next, primary immune deficiency. Primary immune deficiency. Primary immune primary immune deficiencies, okay, are caused by genetic developmental defects. Genetic developmental defects. Secondary immune deficiency. Secondary immune deficiencies. Secondary immune deficiencies rise due to various reasons like radiation various reasons like radiation, use of cytolytic and immunosuppressive drugs. Immunosuppressive drugs. Immunosuppressive drugs and infections. Immunosuppressive drugs and infections. Next, AIDS. AIDS is an acronym for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Next, it is the deficiency of immune system. Acquired during acquired during the lifetime. Acquired during the lifetime. Okay, acquired during lifetime of an individual. Okay, lifetime of individual, indicating that it is not a what you called congenital disease. Next, AIDS is caused by human immunodeficiency virus called HIV. Next, it selectively infects T helper cells. The infected helper cell helper T cells okay will not the infected helper T cells will not stimulate antibody production by B cells. Antibody production by B cells resulting in loss of natural defense against viral infection. Very, very important. On the basis of genetic characteristics and differences in the viral antigen HIV is classified into the type 1 and type 2. HIV 1 and HIV 2. Like that, there will be types out there. Okay, children, observe very carefully. What we are discussing today is immunodeficiency. In the name itself, answer is there. Immunity system deficiency, decrease. Because of immune system deficiency causes diseases. They are called immunodeficiency disease. Ineffective immune response. Immune response will not be effective properly. Okay, immune system will be fail. The best example for that immunodeficiency disease is AIDS. AIDS means what? Acquired. We are taking from someone. Immunodeficiency syndrome. Syndrome means what? Here the word you should have to remember. The syndrome means it's a group of diseases. Group of diseases. Okay, children. Now observe carefully. Immunodeficiency results. Why immunodeficiency results will be takes place? From failure of one or more components of the immune system. So when the immune system components are failed, one or two components of the immune system failed, then that is leads to immunodeficiency. The primary immune deficiencies are caused by genetic developmental defects. So some of the genetic developmental defects also causes the immune deficiencies. Second one, secondary immune deficiencies arise due to various reasons like radiation, use of cytolytic and immunosuppressive drugs. Why secondary immune deficiency arises? Due to various reasons like radiation, use of cytolytic and immunosuppressive drugs will be main reason for the infections. And infections also, not only what you called the radiation, cytotonic and immunosuppressive drugs, and also infections. Now AIDS, what is AIDS? AIDS is an acronym for acquired. A means acquired, I means immuno, D means deficiency, S means syndrome. So we are taking from someone, because of that our immune system will be decreased. That syndrome means group of diseases. So it is a deficiency of immune system acquired during the lifetime of an individual, indicating that it is not a congenital disease. It is not a congenital birth. Birth is not coming. We are taking from the others. AIDS is caused by human immunodeficiency virus. So the virus name itself, human deficiency immunodeficiency virus, HIV. It selectively infects the which one? There are very important immune cells are there. T cells are there or not in that category? T helper cells. The HIV virus will be infected. The infected T cells, helper T cells will not stimulate antibody production. So what will happen? The T helper cells cannot produce antibody production by B cells. Resulting what will happen? There is in the loss of natural defense against the viral infection. So T helper cell actually encourages the production of antibodies from B cells, but here T helper cells got the infection in the sense there is no production of antibodies from the B cells. Then that is leads to natural defense mechanism against the viral infections will be disturbed. On the basis of genetic characteristics and the differences in the viral antigens, on the basis of genetic characteristics and differences in the viral antigens. Okay, so on the basis of genetic characteristics and difference in the viral antigen is there or not? Genetics, HIV classified into the type 1 and type 2, or HIV 1 and HIV 2. Like that, what will happen? There will be division also will be there in the HIV structure. Now we are going to discuss about the structure of what is called HIV, human immunodeficiency virus structure. We are going to discuss. Okay, children, observe very carefully. We are going to discuss about human immunodeficiency virus structure. We are going to discuss about human immunodeficiency virus. Yes, the structure of, we are going to discuss about what is called the structure of HIV. Okay, children, observe very carefully. The human immunodeficiency virus belongs to HIV, belongs to, okay, belongs to the genus lentivirus. When observed under the electron microscope, HIV is seen as a spherical virus, 100 to 120 nanometers, okay, in diameter, containing a dense core surrounded by a lipoprotein envelope. Okay, lipoprotein envelope. Next, the envelope has very important. Envelope has glycoprotein. The envelope has glycoprotein spikes, termed glycoprotein 41 and glycoprotein 120, like this. And at the core, okay, at the core there are two very important large single stranded RNA. Will be there. Okay, this is important. Next, the RNA is there. This attached to the RNA are molecules. Of reverse transcriptase. Okay, it also contains enzyme proteases and ribonuclease. Next, the core is covered by a capsid. Made of proteins. Next, this is followed by another layer of matrix proteins. proteins as, okay, matrix proteins. Okay, children, this is important. Okay, so now like this there will be what you called HIV structure is there. Okay, children, listen carefully. HIV belongs to the genus lentivirus. First bit, it's a neat bit. Second, when observed under the electron microscope, HIV is seen as a spherical virus. Spherical virus, round shaped, 100 to 1 nanometers in diameter, containing a dense core surrounded by a lipoprotein. So, surrounded by a lipoprotein envelope will be there. Lipoprotein envelope, lipid and protein. The envelope has glycoprotein. Here, lipoprotein envelope, glycoprotein spikes, termed as GP41 and GP120. At the core, there are two large single stranded RNA. Single stranded RNA. Two attached to the RNA molecules of reverse transcriptase. Very, very important. The speciality of lentiviruses. Okay, also contains enzyme like protease. Contains enzymes like protease and ribonucleases. One, reverse transcriptase, proteases, ribonucleases will be there. The core is covered by a capsid made of proteins. The core is covered by capsid made of proteins. This is followed by another layer of matrix proteins. So, proteins only mainly covers the total virus structure. So, how HIV will be transmitted? HIV transmission. This is important. HIV transmission. HIV transmission. The HIV often located. HIV often, very very important. Often the HIV often located within the cells. Within the cells, especially in macrophages. Especially in macrophages. HIV can survive for 1.5 days to 1.5 days. Okay, inside a cell, but only inside a cell, but only about 6 hours. Only about 6 hours outside a cell. Outside a cell. This is important. Okay. Roots of number 1. This is the point we are going to discuss. What we are the points here? Roots of HIV transmission. Roots of HIV transmission. Roots of HIV transmission. Okay. Number 1. What we call roots of HIV transmission includes number 1, unsafe sex. Unsafe sex. Number 2, what you called unsafe sexual contact. Sexual contact. Number 1. Number 2, blood contaminated needles. Blood contaminated needles. Blood contaminated needles. Number 3, very important, what you call blood contaminated needles. Organ transplants. Organ transplants. Number 4, what you call blood transfusion. Blood transfusion. Blood transfusion. Next, another important, vertical transmission. Vertical transmission. Vertical transmission. Vertical transmission from HIV, from HIV infected mother to HIV infected mother to child. Mother to child. HIV is transmitted by, HIV is not transmitted by, HIV is not, very important word, not transmitted by, HIV is not transmitted by what he called insects, or casual contact, casual, what he called casual contact. Okay, casual contact. Okay children, this is important. So now observe very carefully children. HIV transmission, HIV transmission. The HIV transmission, the HIV often located within the cells, especially in macrophages. Where the located HIV is macrophages. HIV can survive 1 to 5 days, 1 to 15 days. Okay, HIV can survive, very important this one. So survive 1.5 days inside a cell, but only about 6 hours. Here 1.5 days, this is important, 1.5 days inside a cell, but only about 6 hours, 6 hours outside a cell. 1.5 days inside of the cell and outside, but only about 6 hours outside of a cell. The routes of HIV transmission, what is that one? Unsafe sexual contact, blood contaminated needles. So when the person, infected person, used needles, when we use the healthy person, automatically we will get the infection through that needles. So organ transplants, the HIV patient donated organs to healthy person, in the sense healthy person also will get the disease. And blood transfusion, HIV person donate the blood to healthy person, in the sense blood that person will get. So vertical transmission from HIV infected mother to children. So from mother to child also HIV will be transferred. So HIV is not transmitted by insects and casual contacts. Insects and casual contacts. Thank you children. Tomorrow we will discuss some more points about HIV virus.